Hey, we're going to talk about some building of mass objects just out of your own drawings. This can be used for furniture, it can be used for different components, add-ons to architecture that you want to custom make. Um, First thing I would do though is check to see that this thing does not already exist or something very similar to it doesn't already exist in Revit. Looking at the different component families. Also check other sources like Revit City, see if you can't find something that's similar there. No reason to do extra work if you can get something very similar and close to it and from other places. Try that first. Then what I would do is go just have a regular architectural template open. I went to massing in site. I'm going to go to in mass or in place mass. I'm just going to click OK on these. I'm going to do is start off with my first object here. Start off with something simple. I'm going to use a rectangle tool and finish out a rectangle. What I want to do with that rectangle now is basically just take it and I want to create a form. By default, when you click on this button, it's going to create a solid form, which is good. That's what I want. So I'm going to create a solid form out of that. Although it doesn't look solid, it just looks like we have some controls here where we can adjust some dimensions of it. I wouldn't change that too much from this view because what it's actually doing is shifting the top plane. And so I'll show you more about that when we get into a 3D view. So what we're doing here is this is the mass that I want to adjust. Notice that I can choose either an edge or I can choose a complete a solid plane. You can see how the whole thing lights up. So I can take that plane and I can stretch it up. Control Z that, or I can take one edge and I can shift it out this way, give it different dimensions. Okay, so you have different things that you can work with here. These are pretty much as customizable as you want them to be. Um, Once decided I've got the shape or design that I want, what I'm going to do is go up here to finish mass, and that part is done. So if I ever decide I need to make a different piece of furniture or something to add on to this, what I would do is go back to in place mass, mass 2, or you could label it whatever object or component you're making, and I'm do the same thing. So you can do it with any tool that you want to. Well, with some exceptions, there are some that won't let you do it. Um, for example, the spline through points tool. It's not going to be very happy if you tried to do that. Um, Create some sort of in place mass or create a form from that. So I have another shape here. Let's get into moving this around a bit. So I'm going to take this. I actually want to drag it. You see how it lets you drag it? It'll kind of give you a preview of where it's going to go. I want it right here. Actually, I want it closer than that. It lied to me. I thought it was going to make it closer. All right. Well, we'll deal with that. Um, I don't have much time for this. So I'm going to go to create form again. Again, if I take these and shift them, it looks like I've just created like a 3D object. Well, what it actually looks like is this when you get in 3D view. So don't tinker around too much with these controls unless you absolutely mean to. So I'm going to undo that part right there. And let's say I want these two forms to be connected. You can connect them. You can move them together. Um, you can join them. So if I move these two objects together like this, I can join that object with another object and finish out the mass. And I have multiple pieces I can work with and play around with. So I can still go through and manipulate these sides as they were both both separate. So take that, join it with that, and but they're still very easily editable. Um, Circle ones are another one. Circular or using arches are another popular one to do, especially with some of the furniture y'all are working with. You might find need for creating an arch. So I want to figure out direction I want to go, create a simple 90-degree arch right there. I want to do a second one because kind of determine the seat area of that chair. I'm going to combine a couple different tools to make this happen. So connect that and connect this. And I think that's pretty much it. What I'll do now is take that, create a form from it. 3D view, I can shrink that down. Typical seat height is going to be about 18 inches, so I can take that dimension right there and hit 18, and there I go. I have something that I can now manipulate. Take this and all right, so if I wanted to take a finished mass like this right here and wanted a similar object, I can use my move tool here. I'm going to hold shift on my keyboard and drag out another one. Control, and drag out another one, not shift. And now I can take that and manipulate it and turn it however I need to. So I can take this object and move it around. Well, now when you select one of these, sometimes it depends on where you're actually able to rotate these items. You can do them, you don't have to do it this way. You can completely form your whole furniture out of one solid piece of mass here that you're drawing. So you don't have to put it together like Lego pieces if you don't want to. So if I go to rotate this, I want it to be something that I can join to this one here, then you just choose like how you want it to rotate. It'll kind of snap into place here, and you can, keep rotating, keep adjusting it as you need to make them fit together the right way. Obviously, this is not the right way, but you kind of get the idea of how you can easily move these guys around and keep rotating them to where maybe I want this end to meet that end, create some sort of S curve. So that's pretty much it. It's really easy to do. You can join objects together. You can create all sorts of different shapes that you want. You can customize this. You can also apply materials to these as well. So you can go in here and you can get into the editing of the actual objects that you're doing, adding materials to it, color shading. If I wanted these to be with like a carpet kind of exterior, then I can do something like that too, or something with fabric. All of that can be customized to get as close of a look as you need to. So play around with these, see what you can create. Remember, use this if you absolutely don't see anything else out there that is similar to what you need for your project.